my love and took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes you bolder than children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. I'm getting older too. Take my love and take it down. Climb a mountain and I turn around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, will the landslide bring you down? And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, then maybe, well, maybe the landslide will bring you down.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Welcome to First Parish in Needham, a Unitarian Universalist congregation of humanists, theists, atheists, agnostics, seekers, and interfaith families. I am Elliot Jakowski. You can learn more about what's happening at First Parish by going to our website, uuneedham.org, and signing for our weekly email newsletter, or by following us on social media. Our order of service is online too, at the QR code in your pews and at the website uuneedham.updates.church. Please speak with our ushers, greeters, and Zoom hosts if you have any questions or accessibility needs. At First Parish, we covenant to live out our shared values of the inherent worth and dignity of every person, respecting the earth, and co-creating beloved community. Whoever you are, whoever you love, whatever your background or identity, whatever your age or stage, whether you walked or rolled in, and wherever you're participating from, you are welcome here. This afternoon is our annual meeting. This is an important event that gives the congregation an opportunity to vote on matters that impact everyone. You will hear perspectives of the minister and myself, the president. You will vote on officers for next fiscal year, and you will vote on a proposed budget that aligns with our congregational priorities. We encourage everyone that can attend in person, and we encourage everyone that can to attend in person, and the Friends of Social Hour have prepared a delicious lunch in Parish Hall just before the meeting and right after this service. For those who cannot attend in person and who wish to participate, there is a Zoom link in the bell notes and a message this morning. Sign-in starts at noon, and the meeting will begin at 12:30. Welcome again to everyone here in the building and online. We are so glad you're here.
As we light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, on this amazing 20th anniversary of the first legal same-gender marriages in Massachusetts, we read words from the Honorable Margaret Hillary Marshall, prior Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, for which she authored the majority decision of Goodridge versus Department of Public Health in November 2003, paving the way for marriage equality. Marriage is a vital social institution. The exclusive commitment of two individuals to each other nurtures love and mutual support. It brings stability to our society. For those who choose to marry and for their children, marriage provides an abundance of legal, financial, and social benefits. In return, it imposes weighty legal, financial, and social obligations. The question before us is whether, consistent with the Massachusetts Constitution, whether the Commonwealth may deny the protections, benefits, and obligations conferred by civil marriage to two individuals of the same sex who wish to marry. We conclude that it may not. The Massachusetts Constitution affirms the dignity and equality of all individuals. It forbids the creation of second-class citizens. Barred access to the protections, benefits, and obligations of civil marriage, a person who enters into an intimate, exclusive union with another of the same sex is arbitrarily deprived of membership in one of our community's most rewarding and cherished institutions. That exclusion is incompatible with the constitutional principles of respect for the individual autonomy and equality under law. We declare that barring an individual from the protections, benefits, and obligations of civil marriage solely because that person would marry a person of the same sex violates the Massachusetts Constitution. Entry of judgment shall be stayed for 180 days to permit the legislature to take such action as it may deem appropriate in light of this opinion. So ordered. Our opening hymn, "We Are a Gentle, Angry People," was written by modern Euro-American activist and singer-songwriter Holly Near in response to the 1978 murder of gay San Francisco city supervisor Harvey Milk. Holly Near herself updated the lyrics for the 21st century, removing some binary language, so you can refer to your orders of service and the screen for the words we're singing in this zipper song. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing, "We Are a Gentle, Angry People."
Gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people. singing, singing for our lives. We are queer and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are queer and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are all in this together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are all in this together, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Oh, they're switching it back. I don't know what the people online are seeing. They're probably just seeing Elliot waiting. I don't know. Disconnect. I know, not the usual kind of show we show clips from. I'm going to go tell Tom and Tom what we're seeing out here.
Okay.
They're not seeing that at home? Oh, that's fun. The people at home have no idea what's happening. It's fun. All right, Elliot, you want to keep going?
In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the covenant is a set of promises the membership of a congregation strives to honor with one another and out in the world. Whether we participate in our community online or in the building, we strive to live these promises every day. Please say along with me the words of our parish covenant as in your orders of service. Together, we gather as a loving community to encourage and comfort one another. We gather as a diverse community to support each other in our search for spiritual truth. We gather as a service community to live our beliefs through action and care for our world.
This morning, we are delighted to welcome, honor, and celebrate the newest formal members of First Parish in Needham. Each person who has joined has been thoughtful and intentional in learning about our Unitarian Universalist congregation and has freely chosen to sign our membership book, which I have up here with me now. They know that with membership comes certain rights and responsibilities. The right to vote on important parish and national Unitarian Universalist issues, such as at this very afternoon's annual meeting, and the responsibility to support this congregation with time, talent, and treasure. Each new member has promised to join in our communal commitment to uphold our congregational covenant, live into our UU principles, and participate in the life of this beloved community. I will now call forward those who have signed our membership book this spring. Tony Chikala of our membership committee will shake each person's hand and present each new member with a gift, a token of our joy and welcome. And in the order that they signed our membership book, I welcome to the chancel Terry and Steve Wittenberger, Jennifer Duhamel and Abstensia, she has a sore throat this morning, and Sherry Sklarwitz.
Let's give them a big round of applause. To To our new members, we encourage you to share with us your dreams, your creative ideas, your unique life experiences, your doubts, and your troubles. We are honored to be in covenantal relationship with you and be blessed by the gifts you bring into our congregation. It is a joy to welcome each of you into our faith community. With your becoming members of our church, we are each reminded of our own personal journeys to First Parish. Some of us signed the book within a year of our first visit, and some of us took a while longer. We remember that becoming a formal member of this congregation is an important milestone, and we encourage you to grow in your own spirituality and ethics, and invite you to lean on us as you begin to form stronger bonds with the shared ministry, spirit, and great people of this congregation.
Members and friends of the First Parish in Needham, will you reach out to these new members in friendship, including them in our programs, service, and fellowship? Will you encourage them on their lifelong spiritual journeys? Will you be open to their gifts, ideas, and perspectives? Will you extend a warm welcome to each of them, remembering that each of you was once new to this congregation? If you agree, please respond verbally or typing into the chat the affirmation, "Yes, we welcome you."
Yes, we welcome you.
To our new members, may each of you experience your membership in this congregation as a blessing, as this congregation will certainly be blessed by your presence. Let's all give our new members another round of applause.
Nicely done.
As our youngest children follow Emily to their religious exploration opportunity, please join in singing Longtime Son as in your orders of service and on screen.
May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on.
This is the time in our service when we share the joys and concerns that are close to our hearts and our lives. I receive pre-submitted candles each week at candles@uuneedham.org if you are not able to be with us here in the building, and they will be included in the service that coming Sunday. If you're participating on Zoom and YouTube, you can type your candles into the chat to be held by the community watching the service with you. We have one pre-submitted candle this morning, and it's from our staff, and it's a candle of joy for 20 years of marriage equality, which affirms that love is love, deserving support and protections under our laws. May it continue to be so far into the future. We light a candle. And now if you are here in the building with us and have a joy or concern to share, please come forward, light a candle, and then state your name and if you'd like your pronouns, and briefly describe what is on your heart.
Hi, I'm Carol Alper, she, her. I'm Carol Alper, she, her. This was a birthday candle for my mom. We celebrated her 98th birthday, We actually, her birthday was back in April, but the whole family had COVID, so we had to wait. But she's still with us. Happy birthday, Mom.
Um, 13 days ago, I had my wisdom tooth out, and I'm improving every day. Another thing is, yesterday, I performed in front of, I don't know, outside at All Newton Music School, and I did a great performance, then I went out to lunch with my family. Another thing is, I'm here until the end, until you guys have the summer service. And I love being here.
Good morning. I'm Susan Commuty, she, her, hers. I had a hip replacement 7 weeks ago, and which a lot of you already know that, but I could not have made it through the first month without the help I got from people here with rides to the hospital and home, meals for 3.5 weeks, which was just amazing because I couldn't have cooked or I couldn't grocery shop. I couldn't do any of those things. And visits. So amazing, amazing support, and a wonderful thing. I'm going to be starting to do that, and a wonderful thing for people to sign up to do, because I didn't realize how important it is, but boy, is it important.
Morning. I'm Becky Kennedy, she, her, hers, and with Vin. We've lit 2 candles. I'm not sure what Vin's is about, but mine is, we made it. We moved to Rhode Island. Everything is in the house, we think, except for the things that are not. And we'll get those today. That's been an interesting process. And anyway, we slept in our new house to become a home last night, and the birds were singing a whole lot this morning, and we made it. And we also made it here to be with you this morning, which is very important. Leaving here has been hard. So we're not.
We've been members here for 38 years and hope to continue for another 38. So thank you very much.
The other part of what I want to say is just to acknowledge, in the interest of marriage equality, that our daughter Megan and her wife Jacqueline were married by John almost 14 years ago in our backyard, not here in the sanctuary, but in the backyard, and yay.
And now for the joys and sorrows that we hold in our hearts, and for the prayers of our neighbors near and far, we light a final silent candle. May the peace in the sanctuary be felt wherever you are participating from, as we remember that even though we are worshiping in different times and places, we are all still deeply connected. During the month of May, we also take time to honor Mental Health Awareness Month. It's estimated that 1/4 of all Americans live with a chronic mental illness, including many of us here at First Parish. As Unitarian Universalists, we respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person and we strive to make our faith community welcoming and supportive of a diversity of mental health disorders and neurodivergences. I invite you to join me in the spirit of meditation and prayer with these words from Euro-American UU minister and chaplain and writer, Reverend Kate Landis. This is an excerpt from her recent book, Stubborn Grace: Faith, Mental Illness, and Demanding a Blessing. Hear her words. I want you to know that you are loved beyond your wildest imaginings by the Spirit of creation. Every bit of you is holy, even the embarrassing parts, and even the thoughts you wouldn't tell your best friends. God is in your every cell, calling you to live a loving, joyful, boisterous life, to go easier on yourself, to accept that you are a blessing, to spread the word that there is no original sin, that we are all glorious gifts to a world that desperately needs us. I want you to know that you are a strand in the web of all existence, one dewdrop spangled thread reflecting the early morning sun, connected to every other living creature, frogs, mushrooms, great blue whales, and you. You are never alone. You are born into a huge family of life. This is your world, and you are worthy. May we each know it to be so. Amen. Please remain seated and join in singing our meditative response, Make Channels for the Streams of Love. The lyrics are in your orders of service, on the screen, and at number 299 in your gray hymnals.
Make channels for the streams of love, where they may broadly run. And love has overflowing streams to fill them everyone. But if at any time we cease such channels to provide, the very fount of love for us will soon be parched and dry. For we must share if we would keep this gift all else above. We cease to give, we cease to have, such is the law of love.
I'm deeply grateful to the same gender and queer couples in our congregation for sharing their wedding photos with us today, and that some were willing to prepare reflections on this momentous anniversary. I first share a reflection from Jen Duhamel, who, as I mentioned, woke up with an awful sore throat this morning and can't be with us on site today. In addition to sending me her reflection, she told me, please make sure everybody knows how much I love Sarah, how much we love each other, and how seriously we take covenant. It is at the heart of marriage, and it is the thing we hold dear. Jen wrote, when I think of marriage equality, I have a visceral and eternally grateful feeling. On Saturday, November 9th, 2019, our lives changed forever. Sarah began having chest pains, and before I knew it, our small basement apartment was crammed with paramedics, firefighters, and police officers. In the ambulance, they diverted to a different hospital, realizing things were worse than they thought. I arrived and went to her cubicle. She was in a lot of pain, and the ER doctor was on the phone with the cardiologist. They did a second EKG, and it became like a scene from ER. I've never seen so many people do so many things at once. Due to my ministerial training, I knew enough to stay out of the way, but I said to the nurse, "Should I leave?" She said, "No, stay." As the crash cart came out and meds were administered, jewelry was removed and handed to me in a plastic bag, and she asked if we were married. My mind went into a panic. I didn't have our marriage license on me. What if she didn't believe me? I said frantically, "Yes, but I don't have our license on me. I'm her proxy and at the other hospital that has all of our paper. All I have is our rings." She looked at me kindly and said, "That's fine." I was able to accompany the nurses as we ran to the cath lab, slowing outside the door long enough for Sarah and me to tell each other we loved each other and to kiss. I didn't know if I'd ever see her again. I then found myself in an empty family waiting room for what felt like days. The surgeon finally appeared and said that Sarah was stable and I would be taken to the ICU to see her shortly. Marriage equality for me means being there for every moment, not being left out of the most sacred ones when she needs me most. Thank you so much, Jen. I now invite forward Sherry and Anne-Marie Sklarowitz to offer their reflection on marriage equality.
I can very clearly recall the moment of stepping out onto the dance floor when the DJ announced our new name and had us step out into the party as married. We combined our names. I was Sklar, and Marie was Witzberg, to become Sklarowitz. And seeing all of our friends and family from all over who came to celebrate us in this moment felt truly joyful for me. I hadn't expected the actuality of getting married to mean so much. We already loved each other. We were already living together. Was there anything that was going to be so different? But of course, there was. Of course, just even creating our new name, this relatively simple process. But it was because of the marriage process, a name that our kids now have. Marriage added this layer of security, at least in our own state at the time, that would protect us and our future family. But even more than that, it was so exciting to be included in the traditions that our families cared about. Our wedding was a mixture of Quaker traditions, like all the guests signing our marriage certificate, Jewish traditions like stepping on the glass, and our own traditions, like using rock, paper, scissors to see who would say our vows first. It was being able to dance with our parents and bringing friends together from all aspects of our lives who spent 3 days getting to know each other and swimming in an incredible lake. I'm forever grateful, truly grateful, for all the people who worked tirelessly for me to be able to be celebrating such a milestone.
We feel simultaneously lucky to live here in Massachusetts and to have been able to get married here before it became federal law, while we also recognize how much farther we still have to go. We will keep working for change to make sure that every person is respected and valued for who they are. Every kid sees themselves reflected in their curriculum and in their community. Every person has access to competent care, and every individual and family feels that they belong and that they matter. We will honor those who came before us and who got us to where we are, particularly the queer and trans women of color, by remembering that pride is a protest and by continuing their work toward revolution and making it a better world for everyone after us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie and Sherry. I'm just a sucker for weddings. This congregation has been supported by the volunteer time and treasure of its members and friends since its founding in 1711. This is the time in our service when we, the modern stewards of this church, offer what we can to build and sustain the congregation and the world that we envision. For the month of May, our congregation is sharing our collection 50-50 with the Needham Diversity Initiative. The Needham Diversity Initiative is a local volunteer-run nonprofit whose mission is to create a more welcoming town. Their goal is to foster, explore, strengthen, and celebrate Needham's diversity of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, ethnic identity, socioeconomic status, ability, and age. To donate to today's offering, you can use one of 3 different methods as described in detail in your orders of service. You can use text to give, you can donate through the website, or drop a check or cash into the collection plate or mail a check to First Parish. Whichever way you donate, remember to specify whether your donation is meant for the plate collection or for your annual pledge. And if this is one of your first visits to First Parish, we encourage you to fill out a yellow card in your pew back to drop in the collection plate, or fill out the online visitors form at uuneedham.updates.church. And many thanks to Nora Hussey today for our beautiful flowers in honor of her mom's family in Ireland, the Kelleher's. Each visit there is a joyful connection with the family of her mother, whom she never knew. Thank you all for everything you are able to give to support and sustain this congregation and the vital work of our community partners. May the ushers please come forward.
Jumping the gun, but we're both still young. One day we won't be. Didn't know what I want till I saw your face. Said goodbye to the old me. Came out of nowhere, didn't give no warning. Pedal so heavy like the 2 most wanted. And I don't know what you're doing tonight, but I'll be your shotgun rider till the day I die. Smoke out the window flying down the 405. I'll be your backseat baby, driving you crazy anytime you like. Oh, I'll be your shotgun rider till the day I die. Making waves in the wind with my empty hand, my other hand on you. Been a while since I haven't tried to pull away, but it's time for something new. Came out of nowhere, didn't give no warning. Pedal so heavy like the 2 most wanted. And I don't know what you're doing tonight, but I'll be your shotgun rider till the day I die. Smoke out the window flying down the 405. I'll be your backseat baby, driving you crazy anytime you like. Whoa, I'll be your shotgun rider till the day I die. Oh, till the day I die. I know we're jumping the gun and we're both still young, but one day we won't be. I'll go wherever you take me, seems kinda crazy. Oh,
Hello, friends. We've been asked on the 20th anniversary of gay marriage in Massachusetts to say a few words. So, on November 18th, 2003, Massachusetts became the first state to allow same-sex marriage. 6 months later, on May 17th, 2004, the Commonwealth issued the first marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Jerry and I got legally married 6 months later, on November 30th, 2004. It was a small ceremony at our house with the Justice of the Peace and our immediate family members.
6 months after that, on May 28, 2005, we had a 10-year anniversary party, which folks to this day still refer to as our wedding. The ceremony was at First Parish in Sherborne, followed by a reception next door. Our own First Parish of Needham Reverend John Burens officiated. John's opening remarks say it all. My dear friends, we are gathered here to celebrate with Anna and Jerry their 10 years of loving commitment to one another, to celebrate that for over a year now, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has made it possible for their love and commitment and that of thousands of other couples to be legally acknowledged for what is a true marriage of two souls. And we are gathered here in this historic meeting house now to add the spirited spiritual blessing of the church to that of the state, here in the sight of God and in the face of this company of beloved friends and extended family.
When we first got together, Jerry and I never assumed that one day we'd have the right to marry. And once we did have the legal right to marry, at least in Massachusetts, we worried that it could be taken away from us. It took 10 more years for full marriage equality to finally arrive on June 26, 2015, with the Supreme Court decision in Obergefell versus Hodges. Marriage equality became the law of the land and granted same-sex couples in all 50 states the right to full, equal recognition under the law. It was a 5-4 decision back in 2015. We're glad that the current Supreme Court did not preside over Obergefell versus Hodges, but they have made it clear with Roe v. Wade that rights granted can be taken away. What cannot be taken away from us, however, is the 10 years we had together before our anniversary party and the wonderful memories from that ceremony. Jerry and I knew this, which is why we didn't want a big wedding. We did not want to link a happy occasion honoring our commitment to one another with the potential for our marital rights being revoked. As things have evolved in recent years, turns out that was a good call. We continue to fear that our right to marriage will be overturned. But for now, we celebrate 20 years of marriage equality in Massachusetts and our own 29 years together.
I knew it then. In that room where we found for the first time our eyes and everything. Even the din and smoke of the city around us disappeared, leaving us alone as if we stood the last two in the world left capable of love. As if two mirrors face to face with no end to the light our eyes could bend into infinity. I knew since I knew you, but we couldn't.
I caught the sunlight pining through the shears, traveling millions of dark miles simply to graze your skin. As I did that first dawn, I studied you sleeping beside me. Yes, I counted your eyelashes. Read your dreams like butterflies flitting underneath your eyelids, ready to flutter into the room. Yes, I praised you like a majestic creature my God forgot to create, till that morning of you suddenly tamed in my arms. First for me to see, name you mine. Yes, to the rise and fall of your body, breathing your every exhale a breath I took in as my own, wanting to keep even the air between us as one. Yes, to all of you. Yes, I knew, but still we couldn't.
I taught you how to dance salsa by looking into my Caribbean eyes. You learned to speak in my tongue while teaching me how to catch a snowflake in my palms and love the gray clouds of your gray hometown. Our years began collecting in glossy photos, timelining our lives across shelves and walls, glancing back at us. Us embracing in some sunset, more captivated by each other than the sky brushed plum and rose. Us claiming some mountain that didn't matter as much as our climbing it together. Us leaning against columns of ruins as ancient as our love was new, or leaning into our dreams as a table, flickering candlelight in our full mooned eyes. I knew me as much as us, and yet we couldn't.
Though I forgave your blue eyes turning green each time you lied, but kept believing you. Though we learned to say good morning after long nights of silence in the same bed. Though every door slam taught me to hold on by letting us go. And saying you're right became as true as saying I'm right. Till there was nothing a long walk couldn't resolve. Holding hands in hope under the streetlights, lustering like a string of pearls guiding us home.
Or a stroll along the beach with our dog, the sea washed out by our smiles. Our laughter roaring, louder than the waves, though we understood our love was the same as our parents. Though we dared to tell them so, and they understood. Though we knew we couldn't. No one could. When the fiery kick lines and fires were set for us by our founding mother fathers at Stonewall, we first spoke of defiance. When we paraded glitter leather and rainbows made human, our word became pride down every street, saying just let us be. But that wasn't enough. Parades became Rowley's bold words on signs and mouths until a man claimed freedom as another word for marriage, and he said let us in. We said love is love.
Proclaimed it into all eyes that would listen at every door that would open, until no's and maybes turned into yeses, town by town, city by city, state by state, understanding us and the woman who dared say enough.
Until the gavel struck into law, what we always knew. Love is the right to say, I do.
I do. 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 I do.
I do.
I do.
And I do want us to see every tulip we've planted come up spring after spring.
100 more years of dinners cooked over a shared glass of wine and 1,000 more movies in bed.
I do until our eyes become voices, speaking without speaking. Until like a cloud meshed into a cloud, there is no more you.
Me, our name's useless. I do want you to be the last face that I see.
Your breath, my last breath. I do, and will for those who still can't vow it yet, but know love's exact reason as much as they know
how a sail keeps the wind without breaking, or how roots dig away into the earth, or how the stars open their eyes to the night,
or how a vine becomes one with the wall it loves, or how, when I hold you, you are rain in my hands.
I first moved to Massachusetts in August 2007 to have what's now popularly called a gap year, working as a full-time and severely underpaid tutor at a Boston charter high school. Shortly after I arrived, I met up with a college friend at an outdoor festival at City Hall Plaza where the Gay Men's Chorus, the Boston Gay Men's Chorus was singing. I remember so clearly her taking my hand at one point and whispering, "Look, some of them are wearing rings." Oh, I replied, "That's so sweet." Their next song started before my neurons connected that these men were legally married. At the end of their next song, I excitedly said, "I didn't realize they're really married." And then she stared back at me, her eyes growing wider, until she said, "Oh my gosh, they're actually married." Not exactly the most sophisticated or sensitive way of talking about the situation, but that's where we were, two young women who had never lived in a place with marriage equality, realizing here it was. I don't want to linger on how a couple of straight ladies felt about marriage equality, but while some states had the separate but equal institution of civil unions, Massachusetts was the only state with true marriage equality, even in 2007. Connecticut wouldn't join us until 2008, and the rest of the country not until 2015. This whole month leading up to this 20th anniversary, I've reminded myself that every child and teenager in our congregation has only known a Massachusetts with marriage equality, and that the youngest among us have only known an America with marriage equality. What a blessing to live where and when love is love was proclaimed into all eyes that would listen at every door that would open until no's and maybes turned to yeses, town by town, city by city, state by state, understanding us. And the woman who dared say enough until the gavel struck into law what we always knew, that love is the right to say, I do, and I do, and I do. That woman who said enough, the Honorable Margaret Hillary Marshall, so ordered that adults of any gender have the right to freely consent to marriage, which she described as one of our society's most rewarding and cherished institutions, providing an abundance of legal, financial, and social benefits, stability. And it was a radical decision in 2004. Massachusetts was only the 6th in the world to legalize marriage equality after the Netherlands, Belgium, and 3 Canadian provinces. The Democratic Party didn't include marriage equality in its national platform until 2012. At the time of Goodridge, only a quarter of Americans surveyed said they thought marriage rights should extend to same-gender couples. That's now at 2/3 supportive, by the way. Most LGBTQ television characters were confined to premium cable channels and shows like The L Word and Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. The public thought that Miley Cyrus was straight and Lil Nas X was only 5 years old. Near the start of her majority opinion, Judge Marshall wrote specifically of religion. We are mindful that our decision marks a change in the history of our marriage law. Many people hold deep-seated religious, moral, and ethical convictions that marriage should be limited to the union of one man and one woman, and that homosexual conduct is immoral. But she continued, many hold equally strong religious, moral, and ethical convictions that same-sex couples are entitled to be married, and that homosexual persons should be treated no differently than their heterosexual neighbors. Unitarian Universalists have been in that latter religious category for decades and were instrumental in the fight for marriage equality locally and nationally, affirming and celebrating queer people and queer love. Of the 7 plaintiff couples working with gay and lesbian advocates and defenders, better known as GLAAD, to file a legal case seeking the freedom to marry in Massachusetts in April 2001, half of those couples were Unitarian Universalists. 4 of those couples would be legally married on May 17, 2004 itself, at our national UUA headquarters, at the UU Church of Worcester, at Nassau Beach by a UU minister, and at Boston's Arlington Street Church. Our own former minister, Reverend John Behrens, was national co-chair of Freedom to Marry during his same decade serving First Parish. I know many of you were part of that campaign as well. And in March 2004, as the Massachusetts legislature debated whether to enact a law to reverse the Goodridge decision, then UUA president, Reverend Dr. Bill Sinkford, wrote, "A 12 by 20-foot banner hangs high on the side of the UUA building at 23 Beacon Street in Boston, facing the Massachusetts State House next door. Civil marriage is a civil right," it announces to the legislatures, who must respond to the decision by the state's Supreme Judicial Court that same-gender marriage will be legal in Massachusetts. Rainbow flags flank our banner, witnessing to Unitarian Universalists' deep religious affirmation of the power of love found in marriages and partnerships between consenting adults, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. We live in times when public opinion is deeply divided about policies that profoundly impact people's lives. The issues are neither theoretical nor abstract. Who will be allowed to marry? Who can visit a loved one in the hospital? Who will control the final disposition of our bodies when we die? In a time of divided and deeply held beliefs, the Unitarian Universalist Association remains firmly and proudly on the side of transforming, saving the power of love. We heard that from our fellow First Parishioners today. The emotional and social recognition of freely chosen matrimony is deeply powerful. And our society's legal system is built around the married family unit. Civil marriage confers hundreds of civil rights. And as we heard from our fellow First Parishioners, a right that can be given can be taken away. The barrage of anti-trans legislation that Americans have been subjected to in the past few years is just the latest horrific and deadly tactic of those who are against equality in sexuality and gender. In Black Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's concurring opinion to overturn Roe v. Wade's abortion access protections, he wrote that the court should reconsider its past rulings codifying privacy rights to contraceptive access, consensual sexual activity, and marriage equality. He said it explicitly. If Obergefell was one day overturned, as Roe was, we'd go back to the first decade of this century with a patchwork of legal recognition and the associated rights for queer couples and families. Like the trigger laws activated after the anti-abortion Dobbs decision, 35 states would have laws banning marriage equality. All oppressions are connected, are mirrored in one another, which is why Black activist and organizer Fannie Lou Hamer said, "Nobody's free until everybody's free." So yes, we have work to do and will continue to have work to do to expand and protect human rights. I do the work because my UU values tell me that I must. I do it for the queer families and people here, for my beloved queer friends, for my gay uncles and their multiple two-legged dogs that I talk about all the time, for my trans cousin and my non-binary nibbling, and I do it for myself, because I'm not free until they are. I ask you to remember today who you're doing this work for, the work for LGBTQ equality. And part of freedom is defiantly and joyfully celebrating. It's being proud and in awe of ourselves, our family, our friends, our neighbors. It's lifting up, metaphorically and sometimes literally, rites of passage that include queer couples and queer families. It's saying yes, and we do, to ongoing support of LGBTQ rights and equality. I hope today, this weekend, and next month in Pride Month, we can celebrate this milestone of 20 years of marriage equality in our Commonwealth. I hope we can celebrate the ways in which treatment and affirmation of LGBTQ people has improved over the past 2 decades, though not in an unbroken slope upwards. I hope we can celebrate how marriage equality has provided stability, harmony, and delight in every community in which it has been welcomed. How marriage equality offers us a richer, more diverse tapestry of what love is. We are so blessed by this love among and between us. We celebrate and we keep at the work of liberation and equity for all. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn, Answering the Call of Love, was originally named Standing on the Side of Love. The composer was inspired by a marriage equality statement issued by Black retired UU minister and former denominational president, Reverend Dr. Bill Sinkford. Shelton rewrote the lyrics to the chorus and renamed this hymn in response to inclusion concerns from UU disability activists. I invite you to please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing Answering the Call of Love. The updated lyrics are in your orders of service and on screen.
Promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our heart.
have to say, it's services like today's that make me so grateful to be a Unitarian Universalist. Thank you. So, as usual, lots of announcements before the service comes to a close. Please join us for social hour after the service if you're here in the building in Parish Hall. As Elliot mentioned, there's going to be sandwiches and all kinds of good things to eat. And if you're joining us online, please join the Zoom social hour and connect with your friends far and wide. After social hour, don't forget to come to our annual meeting, please. We are, if you're joining us remotely, also, the link is in the bell notes. Please do join in. This is very important work that we do as owners and embodiers of who our congregation is. A quick reminder that 5-6 Owl is collecting donations for Dignity Matters. See bell notes for what we need for that, for that drive. And our Israel-Gaza conversation group continues on Monday night. It's on Zoom, and check out the bell notes for the link to the lectures. That will be the basis for our conversation. Next Sunday, our very own Ellie Del Valle, who just graduated with her MDiv from my alma mater, BU School of Theology. I know, so exciting. She's going to be leading our service, so you won't want to miss that. And equally, after the service, one of our senior youth is leading a Lane Lyceum on the termination of the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a documentary created by Jo Calzada and 2 of her colleagues in high school. By the way, she won the state honors for this documentary and will be traveling to DC to compete nationally on June 9th. So this is a big deal. Yeah. And then, reminder of our regular weekly events. There is Writing Escapes and Vespers on Thursday, and Friday morning we have our Creative Escapes. I think I forgot something, which is Caregiver Support Group is today at 1 p.m. And then for all other news and announcements, please see the bell notes. We always extinguish our chalice with words promising to carry its flame in our hearts until we are all together again, no matter how long it is until we are all together again. Please join me from home and here in the building in saying these words written by UU Minister Reverend Elizabeth Sully-Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
You all should also know there's a cake for the new members at Social Hour, a cake for everyone, also maybe a cake for a special birthday boy today. It's you. We'll see. As we close our service today, take these words from lesbian Belgian-American Unitarian writer May Sarton with you as a benediction. Return to the most human. Nothing less will nourish the torn spirit, the bewildered heart, the angry mind. And from the ultimate duress, pierced with the breath of anguish, speak for love. Return to the deep sources. Nothing less will teach the stiff hands a new way to serve, to carve into our lives the forms of tenderness and still that ancient necessary pain preserve. Return to the most human. Nothing less will teach the angry spirit, the bewildered heart, the torn mind to accept the whole of its duress and pierced with anguish, at last, act for love. Our service begins when our service ends. Blessed be, and amen.
I'm feeling a little vulnerable today, so I'm just gonna overshare for a second.
Go ahead, Chris.
So, growing up in North Carolina, as a gay Mormon, it was not the easiest experience, and I often felt like I didn't have a voice and didn't have people to turn to. It was so deep-rooted in my family that my father remembers meeting at different houses before we even had meeting houses for the Mormon church. But anyway, it was very difficult growing up, and I discovered some old 45s at my grandmother's house of Stevie Wonder, and something about a blind black man who lived through segregation and civil rights, but still found joy, really spoke to me, and I identified with that. Anyway, last week was Stevie Wonder's birthday, so I felt like this was a good occasion to sing one of his songs. This is Happier Than the Morning Sun. I am happier than the morning sun, and that's the way you said that it would be. If I should ever bring you inside my life, I am happier than the morning sun. That's the way you said that it would be. If I should ever bring you inside my life, all my life I was alone, didn't think I'd find my part. But now I see there is joy inside your arms. Every day I searched for the star that never was in the sky. And now I see that joy is on the earth. And I am happier than the morning sun. That's the way you said that it would be. If I gave you a chance inside my life. Bum 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 bum. I love you. Bum 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 bum. I love you. I am happier than the morning sun. And that's the way you said that it would be. If I should give you a chance inside my life.